minibulldesign. Today I'm out in the right-hand side of the factory, the new half of the factory we just set up. Now yesterday afternoon I took this lathe out from underneath the bench. This is the original, the first lathe, well, actually the second lathe I bought when I originally started building things. And it was pretty well worn out. What finally killed it was I put too heavy a load on the chuck and stopped it too quickly and broke a tooth out of the main drive gear. So it would still run, but it clack, 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 clack. So that, it was getting old, so I put it under the bench and retired it. But I have an operation here now where it would come in handy to have a lathe all set up with outside jaws in it for cutting cans and things like that. So yesterday I completely tore it down, right down to the last screw. Put the new gear in, and let's take a look at what was wrong with this one. Okay, so I put the new gear in, put it all back together, and now it works. So I've got a spare lathe to cut cans and stuff like that with something that's not real precision, but comes in handy, not having to tear down another lathe and change out the jaws and the tailstock. So I came out this morning and got a fire going. It's a fairly warm day today. It was in the 20s. Snowed last night, and this morning when I got up, everything was covered with about a ½ inch of snow. Looked kind of cool. So I took some pictures. Let's take a look at those. Yeah, it's kind of a winter wonderland. After I came out and got a fire going this morning, Beth brought me out a list. Wasn't too bad a list. I think she had 8 orders, and I got all the stuff for those. Unusual, didn't have any international orders today. They were all domestic. It's not common. And then once I got that done, I had everything built as far as I could tell. So I started working on a prototype. So let's go over on the other side and see what I'm banging around with over there. Now I've been working on a stove, trying to get the size down. I noticed some people that died in the wool gram weenies trying to get the size down on these small wick alcohol stoves. Sounds insane, but nonetheless that's what I'm trying to do. And one of the things that I thought would cut the size down is to make them shorter, lower down, instead of having the higher stoves. And that really cuts down on the volume of alcohol that they can have inside them at any given time. So it cuts down on the burn time. But because I'm feeding them with a 2-ounce remote, the volume in the stove is really moot, doesn't make any difference, because all the alcohol is coming from the remote. And as long as you're using this stove with a remote, it works just as well as a much taller stove. And works quite well. It's about the same heat range as an original bongo, which is becoming my favorite stove. And it's just dumb simple to operate with the 2-ounce remote. So that's where I am on that. I'm kind of goofing around with different sizes here, different shapes and different heights. And let's take a look at that. And that's basically everything I've done today. Did do a little grocery shopping. And this afternoon, after I did this, I almost forgot. I went out and worked on the electric trike and installed the rear wheel because I got the disc brake this morning. So I installed the disc brake and the rear wheel and started wiring that up. So let's take a look at that. Pretty high quality setup. Unfortunately, it came without any instructions whatsoever. And because the back of my electric trike is not a conventional design, it's made from bicycle parts, and they're in different positions than they would be on a bike, and there weren't any directions, I kind of had to retrofit it and put it on a little different than I would have liked to. But I think it'll work fine. It rolls free, everything's clear, I've got it adjusted, and the brake works fine. It's just a little unconventional mounting compared to the ideal situation. But I'm sure that'll work fine. I'll probably in the next few days finish up that installation, and then this spring when it dries out and warms up, I'll put the batteries in and we'll go for a test drive. So, I'm Tinny from minibulldesign. Get out and hike, take a friend, enjoy the great outdoors, and more important than anything, try to have a really great day and try to get out and have a little bit of fun today. You deserve it. Bye-bye.